In a small house in Kansas, a young couple believed they were living with the ghost of a little girl. Her name was Sally. She sounded innocent, harmless, until the attacks began. This is the terrifying true story of the Sally House entity, and why investigators believe the spirit was never a child at all. In the early 1990s, Tony and Deborah Pickman moved into a modest home in Atchison, Kansas. They were told the house once belonged to a doctor and that a young girl named Sally had died there during surgery. At first, strange things felt gentle. Small footsteps, a child's giggle, toys moving on their own. They believed Sally was just lonely. They were wrong. Soon, the atmosphere shifted. Tony began experiencing intense anger and mood swings. Nightmares became constant. Objects were thrown across rooms. Doors slammed violently. Dark shadows appeared at night. And then the entity turned aggressive. Tony was scratched, bitten, pushed downstairs. Marks appeared on his body, deep, angry wounds with no explanation. The attacks focused almost entirely on Tony. Deborah watched helplessly as something unseen tortured her husband. The entity mocked him, growled, spoke in hateful whispers. Investigators later believed the little girl persona was a trap, a disguise. The real presence was far darker. Psychics and paranormal researchers were called in. They reported a non-human entity feeding on fear and conflict. One investigator claimed the house contained a portal, a doorway allowing something malicious to enter our world. Attempts to cleanse the house failed. Every ritual made the activity worse. Eventually, Tony and Deborah had no choice. They fled the house. But even after leaving, Tony claimed the attacks continued for months. Only after intense spiritual intervention did the activity finally stop. So here's the disturbing truth. There was never a little girl named Sally haunting that house. She was bait, and whatever lived there was never human. If cases like this disturb you, then you're in the right place. Subscribe now, because this channel is dedicated to real stories that shouldn't exist.